Click, click, clap. What's going on, guys? I am SimpleSimon, and today we're not going to a toy store or a comic store or really hunting even. Today I'm going to be going to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles exhibition at the Docklands. It's just a pop-up exhibition, so it's been there for maybe a month or so now, but it does end pretty soon, so I thought I'd get out there and check it out. So get ready for a bunch of turtle power.
Quick shout out to my minions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos.
Alright, so for those non-local viewers, if you don't know what the Docklands is, the Docklands was built like quite a while ago. I want to say almost 15 years ago now. And it was like meant to be a huge shopping district. And I know back then it was meant to be not very busy. Like it was a super ghost town is what people said. And I think to this day, it's still a very quiet area. I don't think a lot of people just go to the Docklands for no reason, which is why they often have like little events like this to bring people out there. So I reckon since Docklands has existed, I reckon I've been out here maybe, this might be my 4th or 5th time.
So it was about a 20-minute walk from where I parked my car to the Docklands. So I thought I'd show you some of the sights and sounds of the Docklands. Here's some beautiful street art for you. Here's some more art, and this art you can actually walk through, as you see me doing here. And this is the famous Ferris Wheel that was a main attraction of the Docklands. It's since closed down because I'm going to assume it costs a lot of money to run, and I don't think anyone was going there. And then I finally reached the district, which is the shopping district, where you can see there's not a lot of people, but plenty to see. Now, it was early in the morning, but as you can see, there is just no one around. And then there's this giant Darth Vader here. Now, they've also got an event at the moment called the Fans Strike Back, which is actually a little exhibition, a Star Wars exhibition put on by fans. Bit of a weird name, but I may or may not be going there in a future video. And of course, there was plenty of Ninja Turtles artwork all around to promote that they also had the Ninja Turtles exhibition, which was, I believe, called Heroes in a Half Shell. Now, if you're wondering how big that Ferris wheel was before, well, it was pretty damn big, as you can see. Now, there's a ton of things you can do. That's funny, that spinning thing there, you can actually see an image with your real eyes, but the camera doesn't pick it up. There's all kinds of activities to do at Dockland. So you've got Dreamscape there. I'm not too sure what that was. You've got Artvo, which is a place where you go and take cool photos with these cool kind of backdrops. I went there with Sarah once, a little while back, and it was a lot of fun. I really love photos, so something like this is really up my alley. It's fun and a really cool place that you can take your family and friends and just have a fun day out, taking some cool photos. You've also got Glow Golf, which is glow in the dark mini golf. I'm pretty certain I went there many years ago with some friends because I love me some mini golf. And then this one was new, the Art of Banksy. I'm guessing it's a Banksy exhibition, a must-see exhibition it says there, but I haven't heard of that one. And of course we finally got to the main destination, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half Shell exhibition. So get ready for some turtle madness. Now I have to admit, when I walked through the door, the lady at the desk wasn't thrilled to see me. I'm not too sure, maybe she was having a bad day, but here we go. We're into the exhibition. There's a map in the shape of a turtle head, and this was the first room, which was just a big, giant, empty space, which had massive turtles animation projected onto the walls. So if you really love your Ninja Turtles, you could just hang out in this room all day and just sit there talking to your mates, hanging out, talking turtles, while there's turtles playing all around you. And I didn't spend too much time in there because I have no friends, or none that were with me that day anyway. So into the next room we go, get ready for the Ooze Gallery, which was a room dedicated to Ninja Turtles art on skateboards, which was pretty cool to look at. Obviously the Ninja Turtles love skateboarding, so just a good little crossover mashup, and there was plenty of cool art to feast your eyes on. Alright, so I was done with the skateboards and it's time to go into the next room, which is by far the best room in the entire exhibition. It is the Collectibles Room here, and they even had this life-size Donnie and Leo. I don't know where Mike and Raffy are. Maybe they were on lunch break, I don't know. Here's the gentleman, he runs LOBOS, and LOBOS had a lot to do with this room. I believe they set up the entire room. I believe everything in here is probably from their inventory. So this room by far was probably the room that you could spend the most time in, just looking at all this cool nostalgia from the past. I used to have that figure. So I don't have a lot of toys. I've got that one still from when I was a kid. I've got a small collection, like a handful, 6 figures maybe, from my childhood Turtles collection, and that's about it. I definitely had a huge collection of Turtle stuff back when I was a kid. Unfortunately, it's no longer with me, but it was cool to see a lot of it on display in this room. And it was also cool to see Turtle stuff that I'd never seen before, like this. Metal Mutants, I do not remember that, but that is one gnarly looking turtle. And they really did a great job decorating this place. Even the walls, including the ceiling, was covered in all kinds of Turtles images and artwork. It was really cool just to be inside this room. Now, I can't remember if I had this figure, but it's the Super Shredder from the Ninja Turtles 2 movie, which is super cool. These trading cards, definitely collected them back in the day. And it's funny, you still see those cards sold at some places that have vintage cards. Now this Turtle board game, I definitely had that. I had that at my parents' place, and my comic book collection when I was a kid was sitting on top of it. I no longer have any of those, which is very sad. I wish I did. I'd kill for them actually. I'm pretty certain I had that poster book as well, but I definitely did not have the Turtle blimp. I was not lucky enough to have the Turtle blimp. I never had the Turtle van. I have a story about the Turtle van, but I'm not going to tell you that right now. It's for another day. These Turtle Laserdiscs were super cool. Never seen them. I remember having them on VHS back in the day, but Laserdisc was something I'd never really had as part of my life growing up. Now, it was good to see some Ninja Turtles comics on display. I thought there'd be a much bigger presence for the comic book side because Ninja Turtles came from comic books. So I was surprised there was not a lot of comic books being represented at this exhibition. Now, I thought I was about to get my comic book fix in the next room, but it was not. It was just like a little hallway which led to the next room. But this little hallway had a lot of cool comic book art on the walls, which was very, very cool to look at. Oh, and in this hallway, there was also this tiny little space tucked away in the corner with a little screen, and you could just sit there and watch good old Ninja Turtles 90s goodness. If you needed a nostalgia fix, I guess you could just sit there and hang out, but that was another little part of this room. And then into the next room was this tiny little room that had a Ninja Turtles pinball machine, and it had the old classic arcade. In hindsight, it would have been cool if they actually set up some consoles in this room too, because really there was only 2 machines to play with, so you had to kind of sit there and watch people and wait. But it would have been cool if they maybe set up some old consoles that had Turtles games on there as well. Just a thought or an idea for next time. And then I reached the final room, which was, of course, the gift shop. Very clever, because after you've had a massive dose of turtle power, what more do you want than to spend some money on some turtle merchandise? Now, these frames just aren't there to look good. You can actually buy the art prints inside them. So that was one thing they had for sale. They also had, obviously, a ton of Ninja Turtles action figures. Nothing vintage, unfortunately. It was all new stuff, but still very cool to look at and very cool to see how far Ninja Turtles toys have come. Like, that April looks great. I remember when I was a kid, Casey Jones was the absolute coolest. Now they also had a ton of clothing, and I believe some of these were actually exclusive to the exhibition. So again, very cool to be able to get something that, you know, not many other people are going to have unless they came to this show. This turtle van looked very interesting. I've never seen one look like that. Look at the tires are pizzas. The whole van looks like it's based on a pizza box. Not sure what that one was from. And check it out, it's the classic SimpleSimon panning shot, nice and slow, to give you a full view of what the gift shop looked like. Now, I did go back into the exhibition to have a look through, just to get some more time for my money. And the second time I re-entered the gift shop before I had to leave, it was absolutely packed. There were prams in there, wheelchairs in there. You could barely move the second time. But as you can see, there's just so much good stuff here. You got the Turtles and Grayskull crossover. That's He-Man and Ninja Turtles. Who would have thought? And then you got the beautiful NECA figures. I'm really considering getting these, but I'd want to buy all four, and I just really don't know if I can afford all four at once. You got some Ninja Turtles bags there. And then you got the cool reaction figures. These things always look great. The cards look fantastic. And you can even buy the canister of ooze. That might be a drink bottle, I'm not too sure. And then that was pretty much it. I went out the curtain and the exhibition was over. So the last thing I looked at was these cool movie posters which brought back memories. I saw all three of those movies at the cinemas when I was a kid. I remember I was unsure if I enjoyed the third movie, but whatever, it was what it was. And then out into the shopping district I go again. I could see a crowd of people around, and it turns out it was our old mate Darth Vader, who I spotted at one of the conventions recently. So give you some audio from old Darth here. Alright, so the Ninja Turtles Expo was alright. Like, obviously if you're a huge Ninja Turtles fan, it's probably worth going to. My only complaint is I don't know if it was worth $35. I was in and out of there in about 20 minutes. I was probably done, and then I actually went back in. The gift shop was way too packed as well. There wasn't a huge amount of people, but because the gift shop was like the last thing you go see, everyone kind of just piles up into that gift shop. So it's very crowded in there. Yeah, so I was pretty much done in 20 minutes, and then I actually went back through and just had a little bit more look through the collectible section, just to, you know, get my money's worth. So $35 is a bit rich, but it was very well set up and displayed. They did a great job with just the way it all looked. I did ask the lady at the desk, she was a little bit friendlier the second time, when the expo was going to. I thought it was going to end on the 22nd of December, I thought I read, but it's actually running until the end of January. So 31st of January, she said the expo will be there. So if you do want to go check out the Ninja Turtles exhibition yourself, I'll leave a link to all the info in the description below. Now, while I was out here, I also went to the pop culture pop-up shop that they have here. That will be in another video, so possibly the next one, we'll see. But keep an eye out for that one. And also, there's also the Star Wars, it's called the Fans Strike Back, which is a weird name. But it's a Star Wars expo, which is also here at the Docklands. So I probably will return in a few weeks and do a video on that too. So anyway, again, all the links that you need to know are in the description, so check them out. And until next time, cowabunga.